Coming from humble beginnings to statewide fame, Dion's co-founders owe restaurant idea to customers.
The story of Dion's, or the idea, came from two guys named John Patton and Bill Scott. They were friends in Michigan. They grew up together as middle school and high school friends. And in their college years, they decided they want to own a business. They said, we're going to start our Greek restaurant, but we don't want to do it in Michigan. It's too cold here. Let's go somewhere warm. So they decided to come to Albuquerque. Moved out to Albuquerque, and they bought a little hole-in-the-wall pizzeria. And they just barely had enough money to buy the business and get going. And in the meantime, they needed something to do. So they talked to the guy who they bought it from, and he taught them how to make pizza. So they started making pizza. Meanwhile, the guy comes to put up the sign for them. And the sign maker comes out, and he gives them the bill. It's like, here's what we need. And they're like, we don't have that much money. So they said, well, what can we do? And the sign maker said, if you make the sign shorter or smaller, then it'll cost less. So that's how they became Dion's. The original name was going to be Dionysus, but they had to shorten it because they couldn't afford the sign. So then they got their Greek food equipment, and they started making Greek food, and everybody kept coming in and saying, where's the pizza? So that's like the first step in Dion's culture, is we try and do what customers want. They realized what customers wanted was pizza, so now we sell pizza.
When it comes to completing the national chains, Dion's young workers are the ones who bring customers back for more.
I think people tend to think that kids, especially high school kids, don't have a lot of experience. They can't be really great in the service industry. So we teach them how to interact with people on a level that they're not usually comfortable with. But we make them come out and start talking and really just getting integrated with the customers. And I think that that's part of the reason why people come back to Dion's.
One of my favorite things about having young people work at our stores is how many people come up to me and say, how do you get so many young people to smile and work so hard? And I think what they're not remembering is that young people just want a chance. So I think what we do is we give people an opportunity and we trust them. Young people can do a lot of work, and they bring an energy that a lot of places don't have. When we think about how we compete nationally, the difference we have first is the quality of our food, and the second is our people. A lot of big chains are going more and more to technology. They want kiosks instead of people. We're doing the exact opposite. So we're learning to make more and more things by hand in our stores. We still shred our cheese every day. We mix our sauce. We roll our dough all by hand every day. And I guarantee you we're not going to have kiosks. We think that as much as people like technology and speed, that you're going to appreciate handmade food even more.
We're just a league of our own. And I don't know if that sounds cocky. We're a league of our own because it's not about being the fastest delivery or anything like that. It's really about having the customers come in and make an experience. It's more than just the pizza. Even though the food does have to be great, it's that the fact that you could come in and hang out for hours. You can still have fun at a Dion's. You ask anybody who's eaten at a Dion's or come up in high school, I studied there for hours. I hung out with my friends there, and nobody kicked me out the door. Nobody was rushing me out. I was just able to have a conversation. I was able to make a moment happen. You can see everything that we're doing, and we can see everything that's going on in the dining room, and you could watch the pizzas getting made. I really think that just changes the game.
It's been said before, but one thing that Dion's consistently strives for is the appreciation of their customers.
What's my favorite thing about Dion's? Well, I think it's a really good pizza, and for the price, it's not very expensive for how much you get.
My favorite things at Dion's is getting that nice piece of pizza and that nice sandwich with a nice little side salad and a nice little fresh drink, maybe some lemonade.
It just feels friendly, I guess. It doesn't feel like you're in a hustle and bustle kind of restaurant, even though they're always busy. It kind of feels, people are just lounging and hanging, so it's fun.
With great food comes great responsibility. The great expansion of Dion's is a plan long in the making.
As far as our future expansion plans, I'd like us to keep growing at a pretty steady rate, but not too fast. Our goal is to make sure we keep the quality and the service the way we like it. So we'll probably keep growing at 1 to 2 stores a year, and we'd like to get into Colorado, Texas, Arizona.
I remember there's a shirt that's out in the hallway, and it says global pizza domination by the year 3000 or something. So I think that's gonna always be the goal, and I think Dion's can do it I don't think there's any stopping Dion's from where it's going to go. I think they're just kind of trying to like take over this belt of like everything near us, and then we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure it's global pizza domination. The meaning behind what's your slice is it's more than just what's your slice of pizza. And it's more than just a slogan that, hey, what's your slice, whenever you come in, because that's when it becomes corny, you know. The meaning behind it is, what is your slice of life? What makes you who you are? Because whether it's an employee or a customer or even somebody who works here at the home office, who they are, whether it's, you know, an artist or they're a car person, whether that's their job description or not, that's something that they bring to the table. And that's something that they use to do their job better. If we don't get to know the people that we're working for, the customers that we're serving, we really miss out on all that connection that we could have. Because if we don't know our customers, we don't know how to reach them, you know. And then expanding, if we don't know our fan base, if we don't know their culture, how are they supposed to know anything about us?
We know what each other are into in terms of, like, I like to run and I like to ski. And people here know that about me. And just like we interact that way at Dion's, we kind of wanted to invite our customers into that too.
Essentially, it's asking people, you know, what's that one thing in your life that means so much to you? And obviously with Dion's, like we say, what's your slice? Because as a company, our slice is obviously pizza. That's what we do. But there's more behind the story of making just a pizza than just the pizza, obviously. So when we ask people, what's your slice? We want to know, you know, what's that one thing that, like, you are passionate about in your life?
These are the slices of every single new employee that comes in through orientation. What we'll do on night 2 is we'll pass out some crayons and really just give them an opportunity to tell us what their slice of life is. And even though they're all different, you know, because everybody comes from different walks of life, you'll see that, even though it might sound a little bit corny, is they all come together to make one pie.